And Greg made his name at these Tea Party rallies. People remember these. There are not as many of them anymore. But yelling into a microphone, we're going to take our country back. And I just ask, back to where? Because if I look at Greg Ball's voting record, he does want to take us back, right? He wants to take us back decades in terms of social and economic progress. Just in his voting record, if you take it by his word, he wants to take us back to a time decades ago where women didn't have reproductive choice. He wants to take us back to a time just months ago where loving, consenting adults couldn't get married just because they happened to be gay. On economic issues, he's actually worse. He wants to take us back to a time where banks, large banks, could foreclose on Hudson Valley families here without basic due process protections and protections of New York courts. I've done pro bono work as an attorney working with dozens of families on foreclosure issues. There is nothing more humiliating than the foreclosure process. A lot of these folks fell on bad times, were snookered into loans that they couldn't afford, and right now the state is doing very little to help them save their home. And by the way, when people talk about foreclosure, just because your house isn't being foreclosed on, doesn't mean it doesn't affect you. It affects your property value, it affects your property taxes. 2 houses on your home get foreclosed on, I guarantee I'll tell you what happens to your property value with boarded up houses in your block. Anyway, my message to Greg is pretty simple this campaign. If you want to go back, you're more than welcome to. We're not coming with you. My campaign is about a very forward-looking vision of New York. How do we put people back to work and how do we reform government?